My God, you eat dick for breakfast.
What's up, Clucks? I'm Horatio, and welcome to Cardiac Cluck. I've got another Realm Royale video for you. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my weekly Realm content. Today I'm going to give you Clucks 3 quick tips that will make you a much better Realm Royale player fast. So for this video, I'm going to assume that you're comfortable with the class that you choose, that you know where you're dropping and you're comfortable there, and you know what guns to look for early game, so I can focus on in-game mechanics that will take you from being a noob to cashing in those Crown Royales. Alright, so first I have cooldown management. Cooldown management's really important, especially since Hi-Res changed their cooldowns to basically infinity across the board. Especially early game when you have like a white movement ability, it's really imperative to not be using it to get to chests, to loot chests. Always try to save it to when you really need it. Also goes for when you're in a fight, you always want to be the second person to be using your cooldowns. Don't engage unless you have them really weak and you know that you can get to them. Try to make them use their abilities first so you can counter what they do with your abilities. For instance, if your opponent's a hunter and you're a mage and you put your healing totem down, that hunter might use blast arrow to blast you off, but as long as you saved your sword cooldown ability, you can soar back onto your healing totem and use it. Or if you're fighting a warrior with a sword, it's always really important to keep your movement ability and use it second. If he comes at you and he has a sword and uses his movement ability to engage on you, you can get away, and then he's got a sword, and you have all the space in the world to do what you gotta do to kill him. And that's basically cooldown management in a nutshell. Alright, and next I have positioning. Positioning is probably the most important thing you can do to get better at any Battle Royale, including Realm Royale. So the first thing I think of when I think of positioning is getting the high ground. It's really beneficial. It's easy peek, easy way to hide, heal, and you'll be able to see them, and they'll only be able to see part of you. It's a really huge advantage. But also, you need to start thinking, where are my enemies coming from? If you're at, say, the Forge and Lumber, right? And you look at the map and the fog's pushing Fungal or Valley or Crossing or wherever it may be, you know which direction your opponents may or may not be coming from, and that's huge. So what you want to do is make sure, maybe even gatekeep, but watch that fog come in, make sure there's nobody behind you before you proceed into the game. So that way you won't get shot in the back as much, and you definitely won't get third party as much. Alright, third I have peeking. Mostly referred to as right shoulder peeking in Realm because you're going to be right shoulder peeking. Your gun's on your right shoulder and you can't switch shoulders. So it's basically the technique of moving from cover out to cover to shoot a burst damage weapon really quickly so you can move back into cover and take little to no damage. It's good early game with the slug especially, and pretty much most of the class weapons except for maybe like the bolt staff, the shredder, and I'm sure I'm forgetting other ones, but it's very important, right shoulder peeking. Another technique is like crouch peeking. Crouch peeking, basically you're just going to make yourself a smaller target so there's less to hit. And it works really well like on high ground. If you're like on a hill and somebody's like below you but you're not really on like crazy high ground, you can kind of crouch to make the high ground more effective so you can peek over it a little bit better. Also, if you're playing mage like I do a lot, I like to crouch behind my healing totem. I'll put my healing totem on, crouch behind it, so maybe I can, if they're gonna hit the totem, it'll give me, if they're gonna get an axe or some other burst damage, it'll give me another second to try to win the fight. Alright guys, those are my 3 quick tips. Well, I tried to keep them quick. I know I probably rambled a little bit. I tried a new thing today where I didn't read off the script, I just kind of went for it. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys in the realm. Have a good one.